We are created with various ethnics and races. Blacks and whites, all are the variations of God's creations. Peace is beautiful. We should love each other because the darkness cannot drive out the darkness. Only light can do that. And the hate cannot drive out the hate. Only love can do that. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, audience. My name is Muhammad Fachrezy Firdaus from Mansatu Kota Malang. Today, I would like to tell you about the story that the story is remembered as one of the greatest Americans of the 20th century. Who is this man? Why does many people love him until now? And why did others hate him? The man who had a dream that black people to be equal was from Alabama. He was Martin Luther King. And the story is about people's fight for freedom. Audience, growing in the South, Martin Luther King was born on 15 January 1929. His father was a minister church in Atlanta. He said, "My son has been born, and I am sure that someday my son to become a great people." The King family were not poor. They lived with good neighbors, and they had enough money to live comfortably. When Martin thought about early years in Atlanta, he remembered a loving family and friendly neighbors. But the King family were black, less than 100 years before Martin Luther King was born. His people were slaves. Even in 1929, the black people in the South of America didn't have the same right as the white people. Blacks and whites live in a different world. When the black people go to on the bus, they sat in the back bus, not between the white people. Most of the restaurants didn't sell food from black people, and other school from the blacks and whites is very different. It's all over the South. When Martin was children, he played with white boys. His name is Warren. When Martin go to school, he looked Warren, but not go there. So after the school, Martin Luther King went to Warren's house and played together. But the mothers told that Martin Luther King couldn't play again because he was black. And when Martin King's go to at home, he was sadly. He told his mother what happened. "Mommy, why? Why the other people hate me? Why? Why the other people hate us? And why the other people hate black people?" The mother said, "Martin, it's okay. Don't see what the people said. You are as good as anyone else. Don't you ever forget that." And Martin remembered what his mother said. Yes, he as good as any white boy. But when he grew up, he saw how the white people treated black people. Once, when Martin's go to center in the town, he walked into the white woman. It was an accident, but the white woman hit him on his face. When someone asked her why the woman done that, the woman replied, "The little black bastard stepped on my foot." Martin's face hurt. What the name that the woman said, that little black bastard, hurt him even more. But from the 11 years old, Martin began to make speeches. Of course, he often speak to the church, but in the school, he taught about change in the soul. And 14 years old, he got a prize from his speech. He traveled to Washington and then returned to Atlanta by bus. At the same time, the white man got on the bus, but there were no seats in them. So the driver told his Martin to get up and keep his seat from the white man. But the Martin refused. He said, "Why me? Why should I give his seat from his white man?" The driver became angry and called Martin King bad names. Finally, the Martin Luther King gave his seat from the white man because he couldn't make a trouble for his teacher. But he was angry. Why that I should stand while the white man sit from his seat? Of course, remember Martin Luther King, eager to uphold the justice. In 1962, Martin Luther King led the fight against segregation in Alabama, Georgia, and he assisted peaceful demonstration in Birmingham on 1963. And also that he still organized on Washington in 1923. There, he makes speech under the title, "I Have a Dream." It contained about racial, social justice, and equality gender between blacks and whites. Many marchers cried from his speech, and because of his speech, Martin Luther King became a hero from other people in the world who heard his speech. Less than 500 years after his speech, the white man, his name is already, shot him dead. But Martin Luther King was 39 years old. Many people cried him for his death. But many very angry people too. They burned the buildings and fought the police. 15 years after his death, the government made the birthday to a holiday. And in fact, Barack Obama, who is the president of black people, served in 2009 to 2017. And he says about the succeeded Martin Luther King from his struggle. The moral value in this story is, if you hate each other, there's no point in there. So we should love each other to get peace and be useful to others. That's all my story about the heroes of justice. Thank you for watching, everyone, and see you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.